Kurt Wilson beats on By 2 with Joey Winkler.
Hello.
The flip guy. Okay? So you're not competing.
Yeah.
When you did compete, are there like huge stadiums that these games are going on? Are people paying to get in the seats to watch the big screens and see what people are playing?
Pretty much major LAN tournaments is what runs competitive gaming around the world. Yeah.
So it's like a sporting event.
Yeah, pretty much. So like people will practice and qualify for like, there'll be like online qualifiers basically, and then there'll be like invited teams, and then they'll all compete at a physical LAN event, which is like kind of the spectacle of like, okay, like you did this online, but could you do this in LAN, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
And that was like...
Well, the pressure, it's like...
Yeah, the pressure
is... practice.
Yeah, exactly.
You won warm-ups, yay!
Yeah,
Get in the meat.
Totally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where the pinnacle of like these massive like moments in esports happen is in these LAN events. So like not in the last year there haven't been like some really cool gaming moments because you had to be there, if that makes sense. You had to be watching that stream if it happened.
Right.
And there were tournaments and stuff, but nothing really like super noteworthy happened just because there's nothing to like, I don't know, put pressure on you, if that makes sense.
Were the sponsors of these people trying to, or the events, were they trying to create a virtual situation through COVID?
Yeah, so like there's tons of online tournaments and stuff, but the problem is they're not that like hype.
Nobody's watching.
Yeah, they're not as fun to watch because like even if they could be super well produced, like everything top of the line, good sponsors, good casting, great players, good content, it could still just not go well just because there's just
the live event's gone.
The live event's gone. Yeah, the hype of that event, the build up of that event.
I found out the Lakers won the World Championships.
Oh, they're my favorite football team.
Well said. But I mean that's what I'm saying. I used to follow basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
It used to matter.
Yeah.
And it's just like through COVID and all that kind of stuff. It's like I'm glad these things are happening, but
yeah,
there's no news about it. There's nobody in the stands.
Yeah.
I do like the paper cutouts of the people in the stands.
Yeah, I do think that's
I
fun.
want to be one of those guys.
Yeah, I do like that. I'm thinking about getting that in my room for Twitch streams. So
that you're never alone. A couple of Jack Nicholsons, stuff like that.
Yeah. So
oh my god.
Yeah, but for me that's actually not a bad thing because since I'm not competing, there's actually a big market for just entertaining content because people want to be entertained instead of and that's when it boils down to it, that's what a big LAN event is entertainment.
Absolutely.
And so if I'm creating that entertainment every day,
who needs competition?
Who needs the competition right now? Why would I compete? Why would I waste time, competing if I can do well just creating content?
And so you've made a conscious choice to not do the competitions.
Yeah.
And
I think I have the skill.
Create more of a brand.
Had I really like dedicated myself to compete at a high level, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not
Is it just the competition aspect of it, of that, or do you feel like it's more out of your control?
It's definitely in my control. If I really dedicate myself, I could get really good at the game. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to because I spent the time in Fortnite where I did take it seriously, and the making content side of it kind of became a lot less fun for me when I did that. And even after like I transitioned from so I went from being like kind of entertainer to like pro player to entertainer again.
Yeah.
And that transition from being like pro player back to entertainer was like weird, and it made it feel like, okay, well, what's the point? Like, what am I working towards, if that makes sense? Mm-hmm. And it took a while to kind of feel normal doing that again, if that makes sense.
Okay, no, I got you.
Yeah, so I've made the conscious decision to pretty much not go pro, just because because of that. I want to put all my energy into making really good content, and then like seeing the reward of like YouTube growth and the Twitch stream growth. That's like the goals that I'm working towards. Okay, am I making good enough content so that my viewership is going up and my subscribers are going up? And that's like kind of the more of the goals that I'm setting instead of, okay, am I doing better? Am I getting higher placements?
And are you reaching the goals consistently? Are you surpassing your goals?
Oh yeah, the last 3 months has been insane. Yeah, I went from about like 10,000 subs on YouTube to 50,000, which is a big...
In 3 months?
In 3 months, yeah.
And how? How did you do that?
So yeah, with the character I play, Killjoy, since nobody plays her, there's a huge niche on YouTube for good Killjoy content. And I kind of filled that role of just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna start making tutorials on like how to play Killjoy, and that's how it kind of started. This is actually my guide on how to grow on YouTube is find a niche.
Yeah.
Because you need to make searchable content at first. Because I had a lot of really, really good content in Fortnite that was really unique, but the problem was it wasn't searchable. And so if people can't find your content, you could have the best content out there.
Yeah.
But if somebody's not going to click on your video, then there's no reason in making the content at all. So I started like making content because I saw one of my videos, like just the Killjoy video, one of the tutorials I made, just like randomly had like 30,000 views on YouTube, and I had been averaging like 1,000. Like I'd been putting a lot of energy into YouTube trying to figure it out.
Right.
And I finally was like, okay, well, like we struck gold here.
Yeah. What happened?
What happened here?
Why?
So we tried it again. I tried like making another tutorial, and that one got like another 30,000 views. And then I was like, okay, well, let's just start pumping out a bunch of tutorials and see like, okay, where this goes. And then I started transitioning to like, okay, well, let's establish some credibility and put like highlight reels of Killjoy out of like, these are my best plays in Killjoy. And since I had already put out tutorials, a lot of people watched that. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I built up like this subscriber base to the point where they'll watch any content that I put out. So it kind of started with like, okay, very particular, like this is how I'm hitting the algorithm. Right. And now that I have people clicking on my videos, I can get more creative and I can do more unique things that wouldn't, like I could do a Fortnite video or whatever that would have done, or like that was really good at the time, but didn't get clicked on. If I put that same type of video out, like obviously in a Valorant setting, that would do really well now on my channel because I have like built that base up, if that makes sense. So it's pretty interesting, but
yeah. So you built sort of an expected quality of what you're doing, and people go, oh, it's Joey. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So tell me about Keeoh. What is Keeoh?
Yeah. Okay. So Keeoh, my name online, obviously. Keeoh is how it's spelled, and it actually it's derived from Keeoh, which is just Joey in Hawaiian. My grandparents gave me a little keychain with Keeoh on one side and Io Kepa on the other, which means Joseph in Hawaiian. And I kind of just ran with that.
They had to make sense.
Yeah.